everyone, Citrus Aviation here with another video, and today we are covering an all about airports video. This is a brand new video idea that I have for a series of videos to cover the history and all about that you want to know about airports. So we're going to get started here with my favorite airport, Raleigh-Durham International Airport. It is located in between the cities of Raleigh and Durham, North Carolina. When we get to the map section, I will tell you exactly what city that is. But first we'll go into a little history, because everybody loves history. The Raleigh-Durham International Airport was founded in 1938 and had some stuff happen in World War II, but not too much. This is the official history page for Raleigh-Durham, which I will include linked below. And then a big thing that I consider as a big deal is that the Terminal 1, which was a terminal that I flew through, opened in 1982. And that terminal continued to operate all the way through to 2014 when it was finally closed and shut down. And then in 2008, on October the 26th, the now famous Terminal 2 opened. And that is one of the nicest terminals in all of the United States as far as high-end airport terminals. It's really nice. And that's basically it for the history here right off. Just to start with, I will obviously talk a little bit more about it throughout the video, but this is the start. If you want to read all about it, I will have it linked below so you can look at it. And then also Raleigh-Durham's passenger numbers. I will also have this article from Raleigh-Durham's official airport website linked below. But a fun stat, every year since 2014, Raleigh-Durham has grown by at least 500,000 passengers every single year. RDU for 2019 is projected to be over 13.5 million passengers carried, which is yet another record-breaking year. This will be their fourth straight record-breaking year as far as number of passengers carried, which is pretty awesome. Raleigh-Durham is just growing and growing like crazy. It's pretty awesome. So lots of great things happening there. So you might be interested in what my personal experience with Raleigh-Durham Airport is. It's my favorite airport, as you might know. You might wonder why. So I first encountered it in 2011 when I flew in there and out of there on Southwest Airlines back in Terminal 1, back in the old days when they were still using Terminal 1. It was gates 24 to 29. Air Canada was also down there, as well as AirTran, US Airways, a couple of those. But those were the ones I remember being there. And the terminal was old, it was dated, you know, it was from the 80s. It was kind of in need of some love and help. And it finally closed for good in 2014, and most of it's been torn down and completely rebuilt. But it was a really fun experience. I enjoyed it, and eventually, when I moved to the area around 2013ish, I started spotting there and would spot there until 2016. And so I was spotting there for about 3 years. I really enjoyed the experience. Raleigh-Durham's a fantastic airport to spot. There's a lot of great spotting places and that sort of thing. So I enjoy aviation, and my experience with Raleigh-Durham really helped to further that interest in aviation. You never know, it might end up being a career. And so, the international flights at Raleigh-Durham, there are a decent number. There's 2 transatlantic flights currently, and the history of that's kind of interesting because the very first transatlantic flights for Raleigh-Durham started about 2006-ish with American Airlines after they acquired Midwest Airlines, who had a hub there. That was their base of operations after moving from Chicago Midway. That's where the initial name for the airline came from, because it was named at the Midway Airport. So then they moved to Raleigh-Durham as their operating base in the 90s, and they continued to exist until American Airlines acquired them. And so American Airlines decided, since they had a new focus city there, to start an international flight, which was on the 777-200 from London Heathrow. They continued that flight to this day, and it has been a 767 from 2012 to 2017 when it was for the final time changed back to a 777. It was also 777 a couple times in there, but for a long time it was a 76 as well. British Airways also launched service from London Heathrow at about 2006 as well on the 777-200, and for a while it was also on the 747-400, but eventually that service was terminated in 2012 with the aviation economic downturn of the late 2000s, early 2010s. So since the market was kind of looking up, in 2015 Delta Airlines announced a new service internationally across the pond as well. That was on the 757 to Paris Charles de Gaulle, and they have as of recently permanently upgraded to the 767. I believe that was in 2018. It's permanently upgraded. It would go back for between 76 and 75, but now it's permanently a 76, and there are many rumored international flights coming. Amsterdam is a rumored city to be either on KLM or Delta, probably on an A330. And then Virgin Atlantic has officially announced that they are interested in starting service in the long-term plan to Raleigh-Durham. So that'd probably be a 7879 or A330-300 from either Manchester or London Gatwick. That'll be coming in the future as well. Also, Raleigh has announced they are interested in getting an ASIN flight. Apparently, they have over 100,000 ASINs who come to Raleigh-Durham every year. And so a direct link to Asia is apparently something that they are pursuing in the future. However, that seems very unlikely for a while. However, I could see it something in the future. One service that has been around for a long time is the Air Canada service to Toronto. That has traditionally been on CRJ 200 for the longest of time, and it was just recently upgraded to CRJ 705/CRJ 900. So that's really cool. And then they also at the same time added Montreal service, which is also on the CRJ 200. Also, for a while, Air Mexico would serve the airport on and off a little bit, but that has not come back, although I expect it to come back some point. Probably it'll be on Valores. And also international service. Southwest has some international service to a couple of locations in the Caribbean, so if you're interested in having direct service there, you can do that. The airport is located in between the cities of Raleigh and Durham, North Carolina, in Morrisville, North Carolina, as well as very close to Cedar Fork, North Carolina. So, the airport is very large. It is one of the top-rated airports in the United States, top 10 airport currently sitting at number 8. And the airport has gained its excellent reputation because of its quality service, excellent facilities, and just really, really nice airport with spaces, accommodations, and really well maintained concrete runways, taxiways, all that kind of stuff. So we're going to get started with all kinds of information about the airport. The airport uses 2 main runways. The old part of the airport is down here to the south, and we're going to take a look over at the satellite view to look at the details of the airport. So you'll come into the airport over here off of Aviation Boulevard as you're coming into the airport, and there's a bunch of car rentals. This is where you'll return your cars if you got a car. And then there's some cargo. There's American Airlines cargo, Delta cargo, Alaska Airlines cargo are parked in here. The American Airlines cargo is a service center for CRJs, as well as some Southwest aircraft get serviced here. And you have your parking garage entrances. And then the main parking garage is actually a spotting location as well, which as we'll get to when we get to spotting locations. And then over here you have Terminal 1. You come to Terminal 1 first, and then you loop around to Terminal 2. But anyway, Terminal 1 is currently just Southwest Airlines at the time that I'm recording this video. However, on April the 1st, 2020, Allegiant, Frontier, and Spirit will move over here as well. So if you're watching this at that time or past that time, this is where you go to get on board those airlines. And then this is the old terminal entrance. We'll get into that a little bit more when we get into the terminals. And then over here is Terminal 2. This is where pretty much at the current time everybody else is located. So United Airlines, Alaska Airlines, Delta Airlines, Air Canada, American Airlines. They're all here. But very soon all the discount airlines will go over here. JetBlue is also Terminal 2. Terminal 2 is rated as one of the nicest terminals in the United States. It includes many, many luxurious accommodations, as I will show by this picture. So in a really nice accommodation. Also throughout the video I have some of my own footage and stuff going through in case you're interested, as well as some pictures from others, and I'll have photo credits for those in the bottom left corner. But anyway, the terminal is really nice. It features very wide hallways, some nice, walking, the escalator walkways, things. It includes nice secluded sitting areas, some lounges, including the American Airlines First Class Lounge. There's lots of nice restaurants and that sort of thing. It's just a really nice building. It looks very nice. Architecturally, it's great. And it just is really the highlight of the airport. This terminal was finished in 2008. And then over here, Terminal 1. This terminal was just finished this year, the construction. This used to be an old terminal that extended all the way up north here. old Southwest section, but we'll get into that a little bit later. Anyway, if you want to go to general aviation sector, will turn onto this West International Drive, and you'll go underneath two taxiways over here to where the GA area is. There is the traffic control tower there, and then you'll split. There's a split here. You go right, and then you have the GA terminals here. We have Signature Aviation, TAC Air. We'll get back to TAC Air, and then Lifestyle Aviation and Flight Guest over here. And this is also, I believe, the Gulfstream dealership. And then over here we have some aircraft parking areas. And then there is some kind of a building here. I don't know what it is. It's not labeled, but I believe it is a weather service building. And then over here is the main Raleigh-Durham spotting park. That's a really good place to go to. And then over here is the North Carolina Transportation Safety Office, which is annoyingly in the way. And then over here, as you're leaving the airport, is the UPS and FedEx cargo areas. There's also a parking lot as well. Alright, so now that we've taken a look at the buildings, we will go through some of the amazing history of the airport. The airport was initially started over here, over in this old area, where the North Carolina National Guard is now, and there's, an airport museum. I've never been here before. I've spotted here since 2013. Yeah, I've never been there. Anyway, this is the old part of the building, and as far as my personal interaction with the airport, I've been spotting there from 2013 to 2016. I want to go back sometime soon, the spot again. But this is a cool spot. I need to come back here to check this out. But anyway, this is where the old terminal building was. There were two runways. One of them still exists, as you can see. It's runway 14, all the way down here to runway 32. This does sometimes get used by helicopters as well as the National Guard uses this. And then there was a runway here that no longer exists. And then at some point runway 2, 3 left and 5 right were built. At the time they were just called 2, 3, and 5. And then Terminal 1 was built. So I flew through Raleigh-Durham in 2011. At the time this terminal was still fully built, and extended all the way down here to the south, right to the end of this tarmac, and extended all the way up here to where this big section up here was where Southwest Airlines and Air Canada and AirTran were, right here in these areas. There were up to 28 gates, not 30, 28 gates at this terminal, and the rebuild process started in 2014 and just finished this year. So this is the new Terminal 1. It's now just 9 gates. And this, I believe, here is to be parking areas for like Allegiant and Frontier, Spirit. Southwest will continue at the terminal, but a few other airlines probably move over here. Terminal 2 has existed, as far as I can tell, since the 80s, 90s, something like that. It was the hub and operating base for Midwest Airlines until they were acquired by American Airlines, which gave American Airlines a focus city here. And American Airlines has since kind of dwindled down their focus city to where it no longer exists, but they do still have a big presence here. Delta Airlines now has a focus city since 2014. They've been kind of slowly building up, and now they have full-on focus city here. They have an international flight from Paris, and of course American Airlines has the international flight from London Heathrow. This terminal is huge, and there are 2 concourses. Over here, C concourse, and then down to the south is D concourse. They split right about here. This one right here in the middle. This gate right here in the middle, this is C1, and then past right the middle is D terminal. Alright, so as far as gates, there are 18 gates over at C terminal and another 16 gates over at D terminal. So that makes for a really, really large total of 34 gates. It's a very large terminal. And some of these gates intertwine a little bit. I will now be showing up on the screen the map of the gating. So C terminal is occupied by American Airlines, Delta Airlines, JetBlue, and Air Canada. And over at D terminal is where Delta Airlines, Alaska Airlines, United Airlines, Frontier Airlines, and Spirit Airlines, and Allegiant Airlines park. as well as pretty much everybody else that is in Southwest. And so that is the two terminals. They are quite busy, and the terminal is very nice. So we're now going to move on to the great spotting locations. The first one is on top of the main 7-level parking garage here. If you're on the northeast end, this is a good spot to spot on the runways. The next one is at the official spawn location, where the spawn park is over here. And this spotting location is great. You get great views of runway 5 left, 23 right, and you can also see aircraft landing on runway 23 right. However, there is one big downside to this spawn location, and that has to do with the large North Carolina transportation building that is in your direct way, which is super annoying. However, they do appear to be fans of University of North Carolina basketball, which does kind of sweeten things a little bit. However, it's still annoying to be there. The building was officially, I believe, finished in 2008 or 2009, but it's really sad that it really blocks your way and it's kind of in the way. In front of the spawn location, there are some areas where GA aircraft park, and every so often a storm will blow through and an aircraft will just get demolished, and you'll just see it parked on the ramp for a few months, so that makes for interesting things. The next third spawn location, this is actually my favorite one at the airport. It's too bad it's not the greatest spot anymore, but it's TAC Air. They have a really upscale terminal. The middle of the 3 terminals, it's really nice and upscale, and there's a spotting deck on the 2nd level. And there used to be a restaurant until it closed, which is kind of a sad thing, because there was a restaurant there, and you could order food, and you could spot, but eventually it wasn't profitable. It is a great place to spot, and you're officially allowed to do so, and it's really cool to go up there at the top level. Watch from the spawn deck. You got a great view, runway 32 left, 5 right, and you can see all the general aviation traffic going on. It's really loud and amazing. It's all kinds of good stuff. You should feel the experience. It's really good to do it, and you'll really enjoy yourself. You get close up and personal to private jets. Aircraft will turn in front of you literally inches away. It's an experience to be had. You should do it. Great, it's my favorite spot. And then the final spot that you can go to, I'll be switching to the other map so I can get the road. As you're leaving the aircraft on leaving the airport, on Hellman Road, there's a little turn off here, and you can turn off there, and there's a nice spawning location here, and you can see aircraft coming in on arrival onto runway 23 right, and you can get some great pictures like this one right here. So of a Delta 737-900 taken at Raleigh-Durham. Not my picture, but still a great picture. So there's actually a couple places in there you can go to, find a nice place to park near the end of the runway, spot aircraft as they come in. It's a good location and get some nice head-on shots. But my favorite spot is by far the TAC Air. location, which has a lot of private jets. So normal traffic patterns at Raleigh-Durham. You'll see aircraft come in on 5 left and 23 right. This is the runway that's most commonly in use. However, you will see southwest aircraft land on 23 left, 5 right. Southwest will use this sign. Obviously, once the other discount airlines move over, they will use it as well. GA also uses it. But most airlines, including all the wide-body flights, will land on 23 right. However, occasionally the 777 does move over. And it was really awesome once I got to spot TAC Air when runway 23 right, 5 left was closed for a couple hours due to the grass being mowed, which was really cool to be able to see that. And then all the aircraft just came in on one side runway. It's pretty awesome. It's a great experience. You should do it sometime. But anyway, those are the runways in use. And it's a really good airport. You should go spot that sometime if you ever have the chance to. If you ever have any questions about this airport, because I'm very knowledgeable about it, hit me up and I'll see what I can do for you if you need to know any information. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this first all about aviation episode. All about airports episode. And have a great day, and God bless you.